I don't ever know how to introduce myself. I'm Thrive Allen County, but I'm SEK Recovery Resources, and then I also am program director for Coalition.
You wear a lot of hats.
So my name is April Jackson. I am the program director for Southeast Kansas Recovery Resources, which is a group under Thrive Allen County. I am also the program director for Southeast Kansas Recovery House. We are located in Iola, Kansas. I grew up just next door in Moran in Allen County. Southeast Kansas is what I consider my home. Started my family, but I was trapped in addiction. And at 24, I entered recovery. And that's pretty much where my life and my story started getting built. Was through recovery and raising my family.
My name is Charlie Harding. I'm 47 years old. I'm in long-term recovery. I've been clean and sober for just a little over 6 years. I first met April, I was probably just like a year or so clean. And so that's where our relationship began. And she got this great new job, and it was dealing with addiction and people in that and helping people. And I really was interested in that. I've been interested in giving back what was so freely given to me since I got into recovery.
After I entered recovery, I found a job that I was able to grow in and building a business skill set that I didn't know that I wanted or had. When I lived in Emporia, I was part of a recovery community, and throughout that, I opened my home to people in recovery and helping them get on their recovery path. And I didn't know that that was setting me up to open a recovery house years later. That when I moved back to my hometown, moved back to Southeast Kansas after my youngest child graduated high school, I could see the need for a recovery community and wasn't quite sure what I was going to do about it. But then Thrive Allen County posted a job. I was hired through this federal grant that they received. And within really weeks of having my job, it became clear that housing was the needed issue.
I was in treatment 2 weeks before I even really realized that that's where I needed to be. Or maybe I should say that's where I wanted to be.
In my mind, I thought, it's just a place for me to get clean. It's just a way for me to, see how long I could stay here. It became more than what I expected.
I couldn't ask for anything better in life than what this place has given me.
It was a miracle. I walked up here that morning and April was here, and I told April my situation, that I'd just gotten out of treatment, and she accepted me into the halfway house that day. So I'll forever be grateful for that.
The Recovery House, in its bare bones, simplest statement, is a place where people who have been struggling with substance use disorder or opioid use disorder can come after they've gone to treatment or been a part of treatment or currently involved in outpatient treatment, can come and learn the skills of life that we need to be able to navigate what is quote unquote called a normal life.
My name's Steve Carnahan, and I'm 61 years old, and I've lived in Iowa most of my life, off and on. I've had a pretty good life, my dad made real good money, and I never wanted for anything. I just happened to hook up with the wrong people, and I mean, that started when I was about 16, and I pretty much used drugs or alcohol all my life until about a year ago.
My name is Christopher Slater. I'm 48 years old. I've been a part of this community for about 16 years now. In 2018, I battled cancer for the second time. This May, I did a final surgery and they removed the tumor and got rid of all the cancer. So I became cancer-free. Well, I'm the first one ever to get off of disability and work 2 jobs. So yeah, it's a big accomplishment for me.
My name is Israel Moran. I lived in Kansas previously, and I remember, you know, I almost had bought me a house and had a nice car, marriage, you know, the whole family portrait of a, you know, a good home. And I threw it all away to, you know, be on drugs and be out running the streets and doing everything other than good. I've actually grown in knowing myself and being happy with who I am. And to me, that's like the ultimate accomplishment, because from a person that had no worth and felt no hope and felt nothing like that, now I think so highly of myself, not to be proud of saying it, you know, that I, you know, look at me, everybody, I did this, but you know what? I mean, I look back and look at all the stepping stones and all the everything that I've been through, and it's like, I don't even know how I did it. You know, it wasn't really me, and I mean, yeah, I had to pick up my, you know, put on my shoes and clock in and, you know, go job searching and go, you know, hunting for all this stuff. But in the end, it wasn't even really me. It was something bigger than me.
I know that when I got clean, I didn't know how to be responsible. I didn't know how to be a person of integrity. I didn't know how to do the next right thing. I didn't know how to pay my bills on time. I didn't know how to wake up and make it to work on time, to make appointments, all of these things. And that's really what our house does. It's more than just a place for people to come and stay for a while until they can afford to live on their own. It's so much more than that. It's a place to come to learn how to be in fellowship with others, to learn how to navigate life without the use of substances, to form relationships within the community.
I lived here for a year, you know, and that's longer than was planned, but I needed longer, you know, and they didn't press me. They didn't tell me, well, Steve, you got to get out of here. You've been here too long. This place was a safe place, and it was a drug and it was an alcohol-free place. You know, Iowa needs it. It's good for Iowa.
I do what I do so that others can have what I have. I lived in such desperation, so much despair in my life before. I knew that I was going to die that way. I knew that I was going to die an addict, and there was no help for me. So to be able to stand here today and be a part of something like this, really close to the community that I grew up in, where there isn't anything like this going on, it's a miracle. And I want others to have that.
You was parked along the side of the highway and your car was broke down and you had to push it to get it off the road. He said, if you sit there in your car and just did nothing, he says, people's just going to go around you and, you know, they're not going to do anything. He says, but Steve, if you get out of that car and you start pushing and people see you, they're going to stop and they're going to help. Once I got out and I started pushing, it was just amazing, all the people that's come to my aid, and I mean, this last year has been better than any of the last 59 years.
Recovery houses don't operate off of thin air. People, when they get here, they often don't have anything, and it takes them time to get a job, to be able to contribute. Part of our program is a requirement that you get a job and that you pay your own way, that you pay rent, and that's fantastic. And we've had really good luck with the residents getting jobs and becoming a part of the community and paying their own way. Unfortunately, grant money doesn't last forever. April knows a lot more about all of the grant stuff, but we're running into our last year of our federal grant, and then our money is going to run out. Right now, we're in the old funeral home, and as great as this place has been, the infrastructure is really old, super old wiring, super old plumbing, and we're maxed out that with the amount of residents, and that's with 5. We'd really like to get another place that has at least the capacity to have 10 residents. The impact that this house has had, not just on others. I mean, yeah, that's the obvious thing. People are going to look at that and they're going to see the guys that have come through this program. They're going to see the ones like Hayden and Steve and Chris and several others that have come through this program and are now productive members of society, now have jobs, that are getting off drug court, that are navigating their life now without the use of substances. That is the greatest thing that I could ever be a part of or ever see. These guys are responsible for all of the work. I'm just here to help them with my experience, strength, and hope, show them that it can be done. And what they don't know is that their recovery helps me in mine. It's bittersweet because these guys come in here, I get to know them really, really well, and then they go on, and then we get another group of fellas in here, and it's that same kind of thing. So I hate to see them go, but I love to see them go because that means that they have done the work that's necessary for them to survive out there. People that suffer with substance abuse, it's tough in the world, and you can't do it alone. And by being a part of a house like this, with people like April and myself that teach them that relationships are okay, that it's okay to trust people. People like us, we don't trust people naturally by the time we get here. Everybody's always out to get us. So to learn those things and learn how to rely on others and to ask for help is just such a blessing. I can't say enough what a gift it is for me to do what I do. I don't get up and I go to work every day. That's not what I do. I get to be a part of this. And it's a miracle that I'm alive and that I'm here, but it's an even bigger miracle that I can be a part of these guys' lives and watch them grow and become the guys and the human beings that they've always wanted to be. I would encourage any of the community members to come and be a part of what we do. Come and visit the house. We have a community space downstairs. Anyone is more than welcome to come and be a part of this, to see what we do. We only ever see, and I say we, but the community generally only sees the bad side of addiction. And I would really encourage you to come see the good side, come see the successes that we've done, because that's really the only way that we're ever going to end stigma against this disease, is by people to witness the changes in others. There's so many people so many organizations that are working together, the court systems, Southeast Kansas Mental Health, Humanity House. I mean, it's like we're all truly, really trying to work together to save people's lives. So the best thing and the thing that I would suggest the most is for people to come check us out.